I live on Svalbard, one of the northernmost inhabited places in the world, about 1,300 kilometers from the North Pole. The main town, Longyearbyen, has around 2,400 people, but I actually live just outside of it in a remote cabin right by the fjord. This time of year we have the midnight sun, which means the sun never sets and stays up 24 hours a day, from mid-April until late August. Even though everything looks calm, life here is quite unique. It's not unusual to see Arctic wildlife right from home, sometimes even beluga whales passing by. And this is the setting of a cozy cabin day in my life here. So cute, there's like our personal singer, little tiny bird on the roof. It's so magic to actually hear birds singing again after so much time in darkness when there's nothing going on and there's just like a lot of snowstorms and wind, which has its pros as well. But this is amazing, it's so nice. Can you hear it? It's so nice. There's this one little bird on our roof and it's been singing the whole morning and it's so cute. It really feels like summer is coming. After long 4 months of darkness, you know, seeing the landscape again and seeing birds and hearing them sing, it really feels unreal. And I know it's something very simple that we are all used to in our everyday life. But here on Svalbard, when it comes to, you know, even the simplest things, you start not giving them for granted, which is probably one of the things that I love the most about this place. That you start appreciating the little things in life, the little details that you usually won't even notice, like the sun, like the birds. You know, the sunny days is just amazing. And on the other hand, the calm, peace and quiet that we have during the, you know, polar nights, during those long 4 months of darkness. Ciao ragazzi, it's Giulia here, your Italian friend living on Svalbard. Welcome to my channel and welcome in another video. I'm so happy to have you here today because I got a lot of good feedback and a lot of good comments from you on my first video where I showed you my cabin. So first of all, thank you so much. I really enjoy to see so many comments from people all over the globe, which is amazing. I really love it. So today I thought to take you with me in a day in my life here in the cabin on Svalbard, so that I can show you how life works here. What do we do during the day? How do we spend our weekends? What do we do on a Sunday? Because it is Sunday today, so it's a slow day. So I just thought it would be really nice to show you how cabin life works. I feel like I'm kissed by the sun, finally. It is a bit cloudy, so the sun is not completely out, but there is this weird sunlight which my eyes are just like not used to. I feel like they need still some time to catch up on this, but can you see the fantastic view that I have from here? This is my favorite spot of the cabins, so this little terrace where I usually drink a coffee in the morning. If it's really warm, then I could also have my breakfast out here. And we see a lot of snow foxes around here, especially during the night. We saw one last night as well, so it's really special to me. I just really enjoy and love the quietness. There's just a few cars passing by, and we do live by the airport, so there might be 1 or 2 flights. But other than that, you know, there's not much going on, which feels nice. We are a bit isolated, I would say, so there are a few cabins around here, but you never really see anyone. I don't even know my neighbors basically. I've seen my neighbors in front there probably like a few times only, and then there's just a cabin behind us that is rented out from locals to have a getaway experience during the weekend. So being in a cabin is actually the best activity for locals, especially during the winter when, you know, we get to go on our snowmobiles. We like to rent cabins in the middle of nowhere where there's no electricity, no running water, completely nothing. And for some reason, people that live here love it. So this is the experience that we look out the most for. Anyway, we do have some things to do today. It's plus degrees, and that means only one thing, which is window cleaning. Finally, they get super dirty because, you know, when there is a little bit of wind, it just brings all the mud on the windows. So as soon as we have some plus degrees days, we always go for this activity. Then we will have to go to the shop while it's open. It only opens for a few hours during the day. Then cook some good food. I love to treat ourselves for, you know, some nice dinner during the weekend, which I like to cook. So we don't normally go out for dinners unless it's like, you know, sushi or some special occasions. I try to cook as much as possible at home, and of course I cannot use local ingredients because nothing is local here, nothing grows here, and everything is imported. So all the food in the supermarket is not from Svalbard, but, you know, comes from mainland or Italy. There's really a lot of stuff. There's a bit of everything from every country, so there's always a good option, unless there is like a big snowstorm or, you know, a lot of wind and planes cannot land. Then in that case the supermarket is half empty, I would say. But, you know, that's one of the things of living on Svalbard. You have to take it as it is and be flexible, and always have plan A, B, C, D, and maybe E for dinner. It feels so warm today. It's really nice to just be outside. I think now it's time for, you know, letting Foxy play a little bit. She loves it. She loves to play with her toy. And then I would say we can get started with the day. All right, let's go. The supermarket is not that far. We live just about, I would say, 5 minutes by car to town, maybe 10, depends. But it's an off-road here, just for a couple of kilometers, and then we get to the main road. So all this road is by the fjord, which is very nice. I love seeing wildlife here. It is a private road until here, and then it belongs to Svalbard, the road. But here it's basically the road of all the cabin owners. We also have a camping, which is open only in the summer, of course. Here we are passing the harbor, and it was really special this winter. Well, I'm talking about February and March, because there was a lot of ice blocks, and this is the perfect spot to see seals and walruses. They just like to sit on a piece of ice and soak the sun in, completely just enjoy the sunny weather. We have a few different speed limits here. So now we are in the center of town. The speed limit here is 50 kilometers per hour, and then on the other road where there are more houses, it's 30 kilometers per hour, same as when you're passing by the schools or kindergarten. But then as soon as you get out of town and you're going on the way to our cabin, then it's 80, all the way to the airport. So now there's a lot of kids riding bikes, and, you know, it's just very nice to see how the locals hang out in town and enjoy the spring. Alright, here we are by the supermarket, only supermarket in town as well. I'm gonna go in, get some shopping done, and then I guess just rush back home and do all the chores we have to do this Sunday. Shopping is now done. We are currently driving on our way back to the cabin, and I'm probably gonna start cooking some pasta with salmon, which is a recipe I got from our Polish friend. So funny, an Italian cooking pasta, but you know, inspired by a Polish recipe. So we will see how it goes, hopefully well, and then we will take the rest of the day to just enjoy and chill in a cozy cabin day. So let's see what we got from the supermarket. 2 of these snacks. It's like a cheese pizza snack. Then wipes, because we do not have a bidet here, which I know probably most of you don't, but in Italy it's a must. You will never see a house without a bidet. But here, of course, in the cabin we didn't have space, and so we either use the shower, or if you're in a rush, then this, but I use it mostly for my dog. A lemon for tonight's recipe. Then, of course, Coke Zero. This will never miss in our house. 1 body lotion, 1 liter of milk, some universal spray, then 2 smoothies, 2 packages of smoked salmon, which are also going to be needed for tonight's recipe, as well as this cream, cooking cream. And then I have 2 protein yogurts, because I'm trying to work out quite a lot this month. We do have a gym here in town, so I go there almost every day, even just to do some steps if the weather is not great outside, or you know, to use some weights. And then I have this little bone for Foxy, but I'm gonna give it to her later when we go and play. On top of all of this, I got a pack of these kitchen paper rolls. It's 4 of them, plus 1.5 liter bottles, and it was 8 of them. Can you guess how much I paid for all this stuff, which doesn't even seem that much to me when it's on the table? I paid 800 kroner, Norwegian kroner, which is about, I would say, 75 euro. And I'm not sure how much is in dollars, but I'm gonna try to convert it. So in Australian dollars, this is 120, and in US dollars, it's 87. Let me know in the comments what you think. Of course, you have to consider that we do live very far north, so everything has to be shipped here, either by a boat or by plane. So of course, logistics influences the price a lot here. Also, you need to consider that I got, you know, some maybe more sophisticated stuff, such as salmon or smoothies, for example. But yeah, I'm just really curious to see how much you would have paid this much grocery in your home country. Let me know in the comments. What did I get you? Bone? A new bone all for you? Bite, bite, bite. guess that was a success. It is definitely time to give our plants some water. I am definitely not the best to keep plants alive, but I do like the idea to have some green here on Svalbard. It is really nice to have some, plants or flowers, since we don't have any trees here on Svalbard. But yeah, I'm just not the best, but I'm trying. I am giving them right now bottled water, and that's because the water we have in the tanks has some antibacterial chemicals. So yeah, it's better to give the bottled water, which we also drink. So that's also one of the reasons why we cannot drink tap water here. It's cleaning window time. Just gonna put some hot water in this bucket and then we will go out. Little bit of window car chemicals, which is gonna work just fine for the windows as well. Allora, siadaj, zostaw, siadaj. You know who is the happiest of us three to have moved here in the cabin? Definitely Foxy. You can really tell that she's so happy to be able to just get out of the house and be free and be able to roam around and play with her toy. So I'm really happy about that. I just love to spend some time outdoor with her. And since she's not really a hiking dog or snow dog really, she suffers from cold quite a lot in the winter. But now for her, it's the best season ever. Hey, Foxy. Tong, tong, tong. Cooking time has come. Now it's almost dinner time. Actually, it's already 7:15. So I'm gonna start making a pasta. So I hope you're gonna find it interesting to see how an Italian cooks pasta. I still have this very vivid memory of when I went to the States for my first time, and I went to visit a friend in Alabama. And I made for the whole family pasta with sausage and broccoli and parmesan, of course, which is one of my favorite recipes that my grandma makes. So I learned it from there, and I just remember that the whole family loved it so much, and I found so much pleasure in cooking for them also for the next days. So yeah, I just hope you can enjoy it and maybe replicate it at home. But as I said, this is not a recipe I've made before, but I tried it from this friend and I really liked it. So, maybe it's gonna turn out good. So what we're gonna need for tonight's dinner is the smoked salmon, chives, 1 lemon, onion. I'm just gonna use this half that I used yesterday, and then some cooking cream. Even though I don't live in Italy anymore, I've carried a lot of my Italian roots with me here to Svalbard. Food and cooking have always been a big part of my life, mostly because of my family. Okay, once the onion is chopped, I'm gonna put it into a pan. I learned so much from my grandmother, or better, nonna. Not just recipes, but the way she cooks and how food is really about sharing and connection. This is definitely the number one thing that can never miss in an Italian house. So you cannot have salt, that's fine, but you always need to have extra virgin olive oil in your house. And now we let it golden for a little bit. What I can do now in the meantime is cut this salmon into small pieces, and then I will just let it cook very shortly, so it gets a bit cooked, but you know, not fully. Or actually, first of all, put water for the pasta to boil. Every Saturday we would all get together and she would always cook lunch for everyone. Oh my god, I love the smell of the onions. That's actually one of the things I miss the most about Italy. Those moments where food naturally brings everyone together. Smoked salmon is very traditional in Italy for Christmas Day. So we eat this as a starter, just raw smoked salmon on a piece of bread with some butter. Delicious. I still call her to ask for recipes, and in a way, cooking keeps the connection alive even from far away. And I think I've brought the same feeling with me here too. But you know, I also have time tonight to go and get some steps in. The good thing about the midnight sun is that of course you can do things at any time of the day or the night. There's absolutely no difference of when you do things because the sun is shining, you know, just the same. Of course it changes the position, but it's always high up in the sky. So it feels like the day is just never ending and you have time to do everything, which can also be a bad thing sometimes, especially for people that need some rest, but they cannot unless everything is completely dark. Fortunately, I'm not one of these people. I can sleep anywhere, anytime, whatever happens, like, doesn't matter what is happening around me. If I'm tired, I will sleep. But I have to admit that it is nice to have, you know, a dark room, and also when it's dark outside, it's a very nice feeling. Alright, my onions are perfectly golden right now, so I can put the fire a bit down, and then I'm gonna add the salmon in. Since the salmon doesn't take long to cook, I will just wait for the water pasta to boil, and then I will throw everything at once. The pasta will take around 10 minutes, so that's just perfect. I still have a little bit of this pasta. This is penne rigate. It's this shape, and this comes from Italy. It's one of the best brands. The good thing about Italy is that you have so many of these brands that are really good in quality compared to the, you know, super big brands that everyone knows and can be found especially abroad. So my mom, when she came here in March, she got me you know, like 5 kilos I think of pasta, which is gonna last me a while. But yeah, I just really love to taste the difference in the good pasta. For me, that's really important. Of course, I'm gonna have to wait for the water to boil because the pasta can only go in when the water is fully boiling, as well as the salt. And we use the gross salt, how do you say, like big salt, for the water pasta. And yeah, everything goes once the water is boiling. We are going to need lemon juice. I buy fresh lemons, I think it's better, but if you have the ones in the bottle, it's also fine. And this gives, you know, this summer taste to the dish, which is really, really nice. Same as the chives, you know, fresh chives just on top of the pasta, just in the end. Okay, the water is boiling, so we can finally put some salt I usually put just like 1 punch. And I can put the pasta in. On the pasta package it says from 9 to 11 minutes, so I'm just gonna go with 10 minutes. If it was for me, I would have gone for 9 for sure, because I like pasta al dente, but Conrad is eating as well, so he's not used to like raw pasta, crunchy pasta, so it has to be a little bit cooked. Alright, now I can put the salmon in. Now on the very low flame, I will just let it cook for, yeah, about the time as the pasta needs. And then I will add towards the end the lemon juice and some of this cream. As I said before, I'm not following a recipe. I just tried the dish and I'm trying to replicate it, but I'm sure it's gonna turn out good. Alright, it's almost time to drain the pasta, so I'm gonna add the lemon juice and a bit of the cream. And this is how it's looking. Pretty yummy. I'm just gonna let it cook for a few more minutes and then it's ready. And the pasta is ready. How does it look to you? I think it looks pretty good. I haven't tried it yet, but it smells delicious. Let me know in the comments if you're gonna try to replicate this recipe and if you'd like to see more Italian recipes that I actually cook more often. Alright, taste test. Foxy, vediamo com'è. So good. It's really, really nice. It is currently 8:30 and this is the sunlight we have at this time, and it's not gonna go any darker. Dinner is done, belly is full. Now it's time for me to go on a walk, get my few last steps in. Of course, I have to take with me the flare gun because, as I said in the previous video where I give you a tour inside of my cabin, we do live in a polar bear area. So this means that when you go out, there's always a chance to encounter a polar bear. It's very low possibility, but you never know, and it's our responsibility to always be prepared. Of course, it's a very big topic, this one. We do not use it against animals or wildlife. It's just in case of extreme defense. I hope you guys enjoy this day in my life in this remote cabin here in the Arctic on Svalbard with me. I had so much fun filming this, and it was really nice to show you how our life looks like up here. So let me know what you think, and let me know if you want more videos like this, and I will obviously see you in the next videos in the next weeks here on my channel, and I send you big kisses from Svalbard.